everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed my first video of me introducing lymphedema. So in this video, it's a part 2 of lymphedema. I'll be talking more about quality of life and diagnosis. So quality of life. Unfortunately, lymphedema is highly referred to as an incurable condition. Now, this results in those affected feeling physically and mentally exhausted. Now, this leaves us to consider how these individuals go about with their day-to-day lives. Now, a simple task of walking up to your fridge, pouring yourself a glass of water, may be something you don't think twice about. It could be quite easy, really. But with somebody with lymphedema, it can be quite debilitating, as their limbs may feel quite heavy, large, and just irritating. So these individuals also may feel a bit weak, and in some cases, it actually has been reported that some individuals feel quite useless at times. So taking all of this into consideration, the sooner lymphedema can get diagnosed means sufficient management strategies. Now, they can be implemented to help prolong a better quality of life for those affected, which is the ultimate end result we're wanting. So as I was conducting my research, I found many studies indicating the effect that lymphedema has on the quality of life with day-to-day tasks due to the reduced range of movement, but also psychological and emotional well-being, which may result in, we can see the altered body image, anxiety, depression. Now, I just want to refer to this image up on the screen. We can see the limbs on this patient. So you can see that one limb is quite large than the other. So that limb that's quite large is obviously the one affected with lymphedema. So as I said in my previous videos, we will see one affected limb that's quite large and the other one being quite small. So you can just imagine with a client like this getting up and walking to their fridge, how debilitating it actually can be. It kind of puts it in perspective for us. So in another study I came across, it actually outlined how lymphedema impacted employment. Now, it showed that 80% of patients were off of work, 9% changed their employment status, 2% switched jobs, and 8% gave up their work entirely. These percentages can be quite alarming, as they may further impact psychological and emotional well-being of the individual. So looking into diagnosis, there actually isn't a unique criteria that doctors and healthcare professionals can follow for defining this condition. Although there is few things that healthcare professionals can do to identify this condition, and they mainly are made clinically using thorough evaluation and physical examination. So, like diagnosis, there also isn't a specific national guidance regarding the management of lymphedema, but there are 4 main features of management that remain unchanged throughout literature, and they include exercise to aid in keeping fluid flow within the body. Lymphatic massage also aids in fluid movement and also reduces swelling. So then we have compression garments or compression therapy that provide external pressure, pushing the fluid away from the affected area. And then lastly, we have skincare. It's very important to keep the skin hydrated, and so we can have a more stronger skin barrier. So I just want to go further in skincare because it is a very crucial factor, as it reduces the effect of skin infections and further skin trauma. So skin changes associated with lymphedema include skin thickening, hyperkeratosis, papillomatosis, and deepening of the skin folds. So in this image here, we can see a patient that actually has all of those skin conditions. You can see the skin folds, especially around the ankles there. So it does look quite irritating, debilitating. You could only imagine what this person is going through on a day-to-day basis. So thinking about all these factors, patients with or that are at risk of developing lymphedema should be on a daily skincare regime to allow for optimum skin and tissue health and reduce further skin complications, such as infection that progresses to cellulitis. So simple at-home skincare can consist of daily washing and thorough drying of the skin, especially the skin folds, applying emollient to keep skin hydrated, using sunscreen, so shaving. It's very important that we have safe shaving techniques, and wearing personal protective equipment for everyday activities such as gardening. So wearing the appropriate gloves, making sure you're wearing your hat. So it's all those kind of elements that come together to make sure we have optimum skin health. So it's really important to note that we need to monitor the skin for the effects of further trauma and infections, especially cellulitis, which is highly seen in patients with lymphedema. So in this image here, the doctor has outlined around the border of the cellulitis. So you can see that redness, how it kind of changes from red to skin color. So that redness is the cellulitis. So that's kind of giving you an indication if it has spread. But it's really, really important. If you do see signs of cellulitis, you get onto it straight away and you see a healthcare professional or your doctor. So that's the end of my video and discussing mainly the quality of life. And I hope you found this very informative. And join me in my next and final video where I'll be talking more about treatment of lymphedema. So thank you again for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.